going to bring this conversation to Elijah Magnier, military security analyst. You're joining us here on set in Doha. It's a pleasure to have you. I was going to start with what's going on in southern Lebanon, but in light of this new information, I want to start with Israel and Iran and that part of the story. I'm not sure if you heard us a second ago, but what we're learning now, an Iranian official source has told Al Jazeera that they're messaging to the U.S., indirectly, of course, that the time of unilateral self-restraint has ended and they no longer see it as being in their national security interest to exercise self-restraint. Your thoughts?
I fully agree with that. Iran either waits until all its allies are defeated and then its turn will come to be attacked, or it joined the battle now before the allies are defeated. This is why it will not tolerate any attack, even against military facilities or security facilities, because Iran doesn't consider Israel in a position to restart the attack, because now they are even.
But we know through, I don't know how to describe this, but the logic of this escalation, we know that Israel is going to respond in some way, shape, or form.
That's again normal, because Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, is a warmonger, opening a war not only against Gaza, turning toward...
No, but hold on. Everybody is using this logic in the region. When they are attacked, they need to respond. Everybody uses this logic, whether it's... I mean, everybody. There is nobody in the region who does not use this logic. Something happens to them, they want to do something worse to the opposite party.
I couldn't agree more, because Benjamin Netanyahu attacked the Iranian consulate in Damascus, and then he killed Ismail Haniyeh when the chief of Hamas was invited by the Iranian government. So these are two hit. Iran hit twice, Israel hit twice. They are even.
This logic of tit-for-tat escalation, and I'm quoting the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres here, how does it end? Does it end?
Yeah. Is there anyone who can influence the opinion and the will of Benjamin Netanyahu, who is self-proclaimed as the future leader of the Middle East, to stop the war, release the Israeli prisoner, and end the war in Gaza and stop his invasion in Lebanon? He's just starting.
Let's put up a map of Iran. So we don't know exactly how Israel is going to respond to Iran's attack. 200 missiles fired at Tel Aviv this week. But we know they have promised to respond. So what you're seeing on the map right now, feel free to look at it here, is the nuclear sites in Iran, the known nuclear sites in Iran. There are also strategic facilities like ports or refineries. So those are the targets that are, there they are, those are the targets that are sort of in the conversation, you know, when you're asking, well, what could Israel do in response to Iran?
None of these.
None of these?
No, because first of all, Israel has a nuclear research center in the Dimona Negev. The Iranian missiles were very close to it, but against an F-35 military base. They did not bomb the Israeli nuclear facility. And the Israelis also have oil rigs in the Mediterranean, and they will really fear for them to be destroyed.
I want to make sure I understand the logic. You're saying Israel can't strike Iranian nuclear sites or Iranian refineries because then Iran would do the same to them.
Exactly, because if the Israelis are going to target outside what Iran targeted the other day, Iran target only security and military objectives. If the Israelis want to step up and take it to infrastructure, I don't see Iran hesitating in bombarding the Israeli infrastructure or the nuclear facility if this is the intention of Israel.
But you are analyzing this, as you should, like a military analyst, right? Looking at the calculus of each side. This is the same calculus that keeps escalating, escalating, escalating. This same sort of rational thinking that you're explaining to us, where would that take us if it continues?
The decision of war in peace has always been and still is in the hand of Netanyahu. He is the one who can decide to stop or continue the escalation. He had many positive points on his side. He bombed Iran, he bombed Yemen in Hodeidah. he bombed Lebanon, he killed the Secretary General of Hezbollah. He could have stopped the war, winning the battle, and then he got enough support domestically to win the forthcoming elections. But
so
he
you're
doesn't
saying
want
he should have quit while he was ahead, which was 5 days ago. That's what you're saying.
What that an intelligent person would do.
Okay, I want to talk about southern Lebanon, and we may be able to show up a map as well. How is Hezbollah doing in southern Lebanon? How are Israeli troops doing in southern Lebanon? We're showing the areas. The red dots here are the evacuation zones. Those are the villages and towns that Israelis have told residents to leave, and that roughly is where some of the fighting is taking place.
That's a normal behavior of the Israeli military because they want to evacuate everybody. They don't want to be accused, as they have done in Gaza, of killing civilians in large number. Secondly, they want to make sure that they don't have an enemy behind every wall or every door, and this is why they are dealing with a completely different topography in the south of Lebanon. But we can see from all these calls of evacuation that this is the area they have the intention to occupy, but we still have to see if they can occupy it.
What information will both sides have been taking from the last 2 days? Well, this is day 3. As far as we can tell, of really Israel's ground operation in southern Lebanon. Yesterday, they took casualties. 8 Israeli officers, soldiers were killed. Today, Hezbollah is saying it has detonated explosive devices, either hurting or killing Israeli soldiers. And Israel is saying it has killed 15 Hezbollah fighters. So I assume both sides are, forgive me the expression, but feeling each other out in the early stages of this ground war.
Both sides understand one another. They are used to fight one against the other since 1982. Hezbollah learned an awful lot from the Israelis, as they are the reason of their existence since 1982. Without the Israeli invasion, Hezbollah would never have existed. But because they know the style of the Israelis, and the Israelis understand that Hezbollah is a formidable actor, non-state actor, then what's happening today is too early to judge. There are going to be heavy casualties on both sides. We are in the first days. Hezbollah will win a small battle. Israel will win another small battle. The question is Israel capable of releasing the Israeli prisoners in Gaza by occupying Lebanon? Is Israel capable of bringing back all the Israeli settlers to the north of Lebanon or north of Israel? By
north of the Israelis who live in northern Israel. Yes, the 60,000 people who've left their homes.
60 or 80. Yeah. Are they going to return by pushing Hezbollah 5 to 10 to 20 kilometers? Hezbollah will use a missile that can reach a longer range and make sure that the settlers will never return. So I see...
But pause for a second. You're saying that Israel... Say that again. You're saying that Israel can defeat Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, and that won't change the fact that Israelis living in northern Israel will still be within range of Hezbollah's missiles, but just missiles that are fired from further away in Lebanon. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, at the exception of one point. I did not say Israel will defeat. I said Israel if Israel defeats.
Yes, if.
So it is still to see if the Israelis are going to be able to defeat. They don't know. They don't have the answer. And we've seen already Netanyahu hesitating and changing the goals from being the leader of the Middle East to saying, I want to limit myself only to 2 objectives that are, again, unachievable.
Okay. Elijah Magnier, security analyst. It's great to have you on set here in Doha for once. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get latest news from Al Jazeera.